Hi, my name is Michaella Sloane and I'm a registered counsellor in private practice in Cape Town, and today my topic is self-worth and perfectionism. So when I speak about perfectionism, I don't really mean the drive to be successful or just simply wanting to do well in things. I'm talking about having a constant need to be perfect that becomes maladaptive and can damage self-esteem and self-worth quite a lot. There's a big difference between perfectionism and healthy striving, wanting to set goals and wanting to achieve things. Someone who, for example, who is a perfectionist might feel like what they accomplish is just never really quite enough, or they might feel that if they're not putting in 100% of their effort all of the time, then they're automatically going to be a failure. And naturally, these sorts of ideas come with some quite harsh and self-defeating thoughts and behaviors. Someone who's a perfectionist might be afraid of failure or making a mistake, whether it's a big or a small mistake. You might be afraid of disapproval or someone noticing if you made a mistake, or you might believe that if everything isn't perfect, then it's all terrible, which is called black or white thinking, where there's nothing in between. It's either all good or it's all bad, which is often not really that grounded in reality and can make it quite hard for us to value and appreciate ourselves. And these perfectionist beliefs in self-worth are often quite closely linked, because when your self-worth is dependent on output and performance, you need to feel like you're always meeting those external expectations in order to feel worthy or that you have worth. But when your perfectionism keeps you from actually acknowledging or feeling when you're being good enough, then those expectations aren't met, and as a consequence, you feel less worthy, or that you don't have worth at all. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle that you can put yourself through. So the first thing that we need to remind ourselves is that worth and value have nothing to do with what we say or what we do or our output. It's intrinsic. It's got nothing to do with output. You have value and worth simply because you exist, which means that having a bad day or making a mistake doesn't take that away. It can't take that away. On your worst day, you are as worthy and have as much value as on your best day. So, knowing that self-worth is intrinsic, learn how to set goals for yourself that are based on your wants, needs, and past accomplishments, not just on what you believe should happen or what should be accomplished or achievable. And recognize the value in making mistakes as well, because there's so many positive things that can be learned from a mistake. You get to choose if you're going to take advantage of that mistake and utilize it and be productive about it, to use it for your own benefit. And learn how to do things for the process and experience, not just the result. Always ask yourself what you can learn from an experience and what it meant to you, what kind of value that experience had to you. Evaluate your success in terms of what the process meant to you or how much you enjoyed it, because that's a reflection of yourself and not just what you can do. And it also helps you to connect to yourself and what you're doing in a much more personal way, because it's not just about the end goal, it's how you got there. And when you can put value in how you got there, it's not all just pinned on the result. And lastly, perfection it's a bit of an illusion and it's not really attainable. Besides the fact that we kind of decide a lot of the times what perfect is and what perfect isn't. You decided what those parameters were at some point, which means you can decide how to change those parameters and bring in more balance.